had a question from someone asking about reed strength, and I thought I'd share my answer with you because I'm sure that this will be something that quite a lot of you are wondering about. So basically the very simple thing is that the higher the number of the reed, the stronger it is or the harder it is. And what that means is that essentially that the wood is more densely packed within the reed. The effect of that is that when you blow down your saxophone, it's harder to make the reed vibrate because it's more densely packed. And basically then, therefore, you need a higher air pressure and you have to work harder with these muscles. A common misconception with reed strength is that people think the harder the reed, the better the player and the better the sound. And that's not really true. Like lots of these things, there's an element of truth in there, but it's not as simple as that. When people start playing, I usually recommend that they start with a Van Doren 1.5 strength, and I also recommend that they use this embouchure that I've recommended with the whistle technique. And if you want to recap that, I'll put a link under this video to another video showing that embouchure technique so you can recap that. The benefit of this embouchure technique is that it allows the reed to vibrate as freely as possible and allows you to have maximum control over your sound. Now, if you have a reed that's too strong for you, basically we start to compensate by pushing with our lower lip, and that restricts the vibration of the reed. It takes the pressure off these muscles, but it's counterproductive because you're losing the control, you're losing the freedom of the reed's vibration. So it's really important to start with a softer reed and to build these muscles up. After some time, you can move up to a 2, maybe a 2.5. But whenever you do that, it's really important to make sure that you're coping with it with these muscles and you're not pushing here to make it work. A good way to know that you've got the right strength reed is simply that you should be able to play the low notes fairly easily, but also be able to play the high notes. If you find that the high notes come really easily but the low notes are just not coming out, then your reed's probably too strong. And the reverse is true as well. So if you find that the low notes are really easy to play, that the high notes are thin and not coming out, sound a bit strangled, then your reed is probably too soft. So it's really a balancing act and trying to find that middle point where the reed is hard enough for you to get a nice sound with the high notes, but still soft enough to get the low notes. And when you're playing, it should still be fairly easy and you should be doing the work with these muscles.